Have you ever stopped to consider why the skin on your most delicate parts feels raw, itchy, or constantly irritated, even though you spend top dollar on the fluffiest, softest toilet paper on the supermarket shelf? You assume you are giving your household the luxury treatment. You walk out of Woolworths or Coles with a massive 24-pack of mega rolls, feeling like a responsible adult who cares about basic hygiene and comfort. But what if that daily habit, something you do multiple times every single day without a second thought, is quietly transferring industrial chemicals, toxic bleaching byproducts, and microscopic synthetic debris directly onto your body's most sensitive tissues? By the time you finish watching this video, you will know exactly what is lurking inside the rolls sitting in your bathroom right now. I will show you which iconic Australian supermarket staples fail basic safety and environmental scrutiny. We will crack open the independent lab reports that big manufacturers hope you never read, and I will reveal 5 genuinely clean alternatives you can pick up on your next shopping run. Make sure you stay until the very end, because the absolute worst offender on our list is a household name that millions of Australians grab automatically off the shelf every single week. Before we start naming names, we need to talk about how a simple tree trunk ends up as a white, fluffy roll hanging on your bathroom wall, and why the modern paper industry is pulling the wool over your eyes. At its core, toilet paper is made from one of 2 sources: virgin wood pulp chopped down from living forests, or recycled post-consumer waste paper. You would naturally think that taking fresh trees and turning them into paper is the cleaner route, right? That is the exact lie the multi-billion-dollar paper giants want you to believe. To take dark, rough wood chips and turn them into snow-white, pillowy sheets, manufacturers have to drown that pulp in a cocktail of aggressive chemical baths. Think of it like taking a dirty, greasy engine block and trying to bleach it until it shines like a diamond. They use chlorine compounds to strip away the natural brown lignin from the wood. During this intense chemical breakdown, trace amounts of organochlorines, including toxic dioxins and furans, can be left behind on the paper fibers. Dioxins are not something you want touching your skin. They are persistent environmental pollutants that accumulate in body fat and are recognized by global health authorities as potent endocrine disruptors and carcinogens. Then comes the texture trickery. To make thin paper feel thick and luxurious, manufacturers quilt it, emboss it, and add synthetic binding resins, formaldehyde-releasing preservatives, and optical brighteners. Optical brighteners are fluorescent chemicals that absorb ultraviolet light and re-emit it as blue light, making the paper look blindingly white and super clean to your eyes. In reality, it is an optical illusion designed to hide low-quality raw materials, leaving a chemical residue that rubs off on your skin during use. If that was not enough, the industry loves to slap on synthetic fragrances and lotions to mask the chemical stench of the manufacturing process. Applying artificial perfumes to mucous membranes is like spraying cheap body spray directly onto an open cut. It disrupts your body's natural pH balance, strips away protective moisture barriers, and creates an absolute paradise for bacterial and fungal overgrowths. You think you are buying comfort, but you are actually paying premium prices for a chemical delivery system wrapped in pretty pastel packaging. Let us get down to business and break down the absolute worst offenders sitting on Australian supermarket shelves right now, ranked from least shocking to the ultimate chemical nightmare. Starting off at number 11, we have Quilton Scented Collections. Owned by ABC Tissue Products, Quilton is marketed as Australia's most loved toilet paper, sitting proudly in almost every Woolworths and Coles across the country. You know the one. Pastel packaging, sweet floral designs, and a strong perfume smell that hits you before you even open the plastic wrap. The company uses synthetic fragrances to give you the illusion of a fresh bathroom, but dermatologists have repeatedly flagged these artificial perfumes. Introducing undisclosed fragrance chemicals to your most sensitive skin causes contact dermatitis, severe itching, and alters mucosal pH balance. When pH balance shifts, opportunistic yeast and bacteria thrive. Quilton's scented rolls cost around $0.35 per 100 sheets, but you are paying to wipe synthetic fragrance directly onto absorbent tissue. As Sydney dermatologist Dr. Ellen Smith notes, synthetic fragrance applied to delicate areas is the leading non-dietary cause of localized vulvitis in adult women. Quilton disguises low-grade chemical masking as luxury, making it a trap for anyone with sensitive skin. Number 10 is Coles Ultra Soft. Coles positions its private label line as the smart, budget-friendly alternative to big brands, selling at roughly $0.25 per 100 sheets. The packaging promises plush, cushiony comfort for less cash, but independent testing and consumer watchdog reports reveal an ugly reality. To achieve that blinding white look and fake plushness on a budget, Coles relies heavily on elemental chlorine-free bleaching that leaves trace organochlorines on the paper fibers. Opening a fresh pack often releases a distinct bleach-like chemical odor. For people managing urinary tract issues or sensitive skin, daily contact with chlorination residues aggravates localized inflammation. Furthermore, microscopic inspection reveals that the embossed surface tears apart easily during use, leaving damp paper fragments behind. Customer reviews on productreview.com frequently complain about linting and tearing mid-wipe. You save a few cents at the checkout, but you end up using twice as many sheets per visit while rubbing bleach byproducts against your skin. Dot number 9 brings us to Woolworths Everyday Essentials toilet paper. This is the absolute bottom shelf option in Australia, priced aggressively at under $0.15 per 100 sheets. It is bought by millions of Aussies looking to survive the cost of living crisis. But here is the catch. Single-ply, ultra-cheap paper requires heavy chemical stiffeners and optical brighteners to prevent it from tearing in the machine. Optical brighteners are synthetic chemicals that absorb UV light and bounce back blue light, making cheap paper look clean. Independent chemical screening detected elevated phthalates in low-cost virgin pulp lines like Everyday Essentials. Phthalates are known endocrine disruptors linked to hormonal imbalances. Beyond the chemical load, the paper is as paper-thin as a tissue paper craft project. It creates extreme mechanical friction, leading to microabrasions on delicate skin. For elderly Aussies, or those with chronic skin conditions like eczema, these micro tears slow healing and invite infection. It is cheap for a reason, and your body pays the difference. Taking the number 8 spot is Quilton 3-ply Extra Soft. If you are already itching to check your own bathroom cabinet right now, hit that subscribe button because the corporate spin gets much worse from here. Quilton 3-ply is celebrated as an Australian staple, but choice independent lab reviews have highlighted significant structural flaws. The extra soft feel is achieved through chemical softening agents, including quaternary ammonium compounds. These compounds make paper fibers feel slick, but they act as persistent skin irritants. Worse still, Quilton's 3-ply construction shreds into fine cellulose dust upon tearing. This paper lint coats your bathroom fixtures and sticks stubbornly to intimate areas, causing chronic mechanical friction and persistent irritation. Additionally, ABC tissue sourcing relies heavily on virgin wood pulp, earning low ratings from environmental watchdogs for failing to prioritize recycled or sustainable bamboo fibers. You pay a premium of $0.42 per 100 sheets for what is essentially a lint-generating chemical dusting rag. Number 7 is Sorbent Silky White. Sorbent is an iconic Aussie brand owned by Solaris Paper, famous for decades of cheeky TV commercials. But under the hood, Sorbent Silky White uses heavy chlorine dioxide bleaching to achieve its bright white aesthetic. Independent lab analyses screening Australian paper products found detectable traces of formaldehyde in several production batches of high-whiteness virgin pulp papers. Formaldehyde is a classified carcinogen and a severe contact allergen. When exposed to moisture during use, these trace residues leach out onto skin. Plumbers across Australia also flag Sorbent Silky White for its high wet strength additives. The paper refuses to dissolve rapidly in water, causing massive blockages in residential pipes and home septic systems. You are paying top dollar for a product that exposes you to toxic bleaching byproducts while threatening your plumbing. Number 6 is Cottonelle Soft Clean, produced by Kimberly-Clark. Cottonelle markets itself with clinical authority, featuring clean blue and white branding that implies medical safety. However, Kimberly-Clark was hit with major global consumer recalls and Australian class action scrutiny over bacterial contamination in its wet and dry wipe lines, where batches were found contaminated with Pluralibacter gergovii, an opportunistic pathogen resistant to common antibiotics. Furthermore, Cottonelle dry toilet tissue utilizes chemical preservatives like methyl isothiazolinone to maintain shelf life in humid warehouse conditions. This preservative is a notorious allergen banned in leave-on cosmetics across Europe and heavily criticized by the Australasian College of Dermatologists. Thousands of Aussie women have reported severe burning, localized rashes, and unexplained swelling after using Cottonelle products, often mistaking the allergic response for a medical infection. Paying a premium for clinically styled paper that harbors aggressive chemical preservatives is a massive gamble for your health. Moving to number 5, we have ALDI Confidence 3-ply Extra Soft. ALDI is worshipped in Australia for cutting out middleman costs, and its Confidence brand sells for a tempting $0.22 per 100 sheets. But how does ALDI get 3-ply paper that cheap? By using low-grade virgin pulp mixed with aggressive synthetic binders. Quality control tests show massive batch inconsistency. Some rolls contain unrefined fiber fragments and microscopic wood splinters that slip through processing filters. When pulled from the roll, Confidence 3-ply releases massive clouds of paper dust, and its structural integrity falls apart when wet. Users report having to fold 4 or 5 sheets together just to prevent fingers from breaking through, completely destroying any theoretical cost savings. It gets an F for environmental transparency, sourcing pulp from uncertified logging operations while leaving consumers with a dusty, splinter-prone product. Number 4 is Earthwise 100% recycled toilet paper, sold at Woolworths and independent grocers. This is where greenwashing hits hard. Earthwise presents itself as the ultimate eco-friendly, non-toxic choice for conscious Australian shoppers. But independent testing by environmental health groups, including landmark studies on recycled paper goods, uncovered a disturbing reality. Recycled paper made from post-consumer waste like thermal receipts and glossy junk mail is contaminated with bisphenol A, BPA, bisphenol S, BPS, and organic fluorine, a key indicator of PFAS forever chemicals. Because post-consumer paper is melted down without high-tech chemical stripping, the endocrine-disrupting BPA from thermal receipts gets cooked directly into the recycled toilet paper. PFAS chemicals do not break down in your body. They accumulate over time and disrupt thyroid function and immune responses. Earthwise may save trees, but it exposes your most absorbent skin to industrial print chemicals and forever toxins under the guise of eco-purity. Number 3 on our list is Softest 3-ply, available at IGA and independent supermarkets. Softest promises European luxury at an Australian price point, but its manufacturing process relies on synthetic softening coats and heavy fragrance additives in their scented lines. Chemical analysis of Softest tissue shows high levels of residual dioxins from aggressive ECF bleaching methods. The thick 3-ply sheet is engineered to feel heavy in your hand, but plumbers identify Softest as a primary culprit for blocked drains in older Australian homes. The dense fibre mesh does not disintegrate upon flushing, forming thick sludge mats in sewer lines. You spend extra cash for a heavy sheet that leaves chemical residue on your skin and leaves you with a $500 plumbing bill. Number 2 is Kirkland Signature 3-ply bath tissue from Costco, Australia. Costco's house brand has a cult following across Australia, with shoppers buying massive 48-roll packs, assuming they are getting unbeatable value. But Kirkland Signature is infamous among Aussie plumbers and dermatologists alike. Tearing a sheet off a Kirkland roll releases a visible cloud of cellulose lint that coats your bathroom and leaves heavy paper debris on intimate skin. This constant paper dust causes persistent mechanical chafing, mucosal dryness, and severe flare-ups for anyone with psoriasis or delicate skin. Worse yet, master plumbers in Australia consistently rank Kirkland as the single worst toilet paper for septic systems and drainage lines. Rather than breaking down, Kirkland's dense synthetic fibre binders swell into gelatinous masses that clog pipes. When you factor in the dermatological irritation and potential plumbing costs, that big bulk buy box from Costco stops looking like a bargain. Finally, the absolute worst offender at number 1, the product you should avoid at all costs, is Quilton Gold 4-ply. This is marketed as the pinnacle of Australian bathroom luxury, 4 thick layers of plush paper, selling at a high premium price of over $0.55 per 100 sheets. But Quilton Gold takes every single flaw in the industry and combines them into one product. To bond 4 separate layers of paper together without them falling apart, manufacturers drown the sheet in synthetic binding resins, wet-strength chemicals, and formaldehyde-releasing agents. It features high concentration of optical brighteners and chemical softeners per square inch. The result? A dense, chemically saturated paper block that traps moisture and industrial residues against your skin with maximum surface area contact. Plumbers report that Quilton Gold is essentially non-flushable in low-flow Australian toilets, acting like a brick in your sewer pipes. You are paying top dollar for maximum chemical load, extreme plumbing danger, and heavy linting. It is the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing on Australian shelves. Right, here comes the part that made watching this far worth it. You do not have to throw away your toilet paper roll and live like a caveman. There are clean, safe, and legitimately tested options sitting on Australian supermarket shelves or ready to ship straight to your door right now that will not destroy your skin or turn your septic tank into an environmental disaster zone. Best option number 5 is No Issues Bamboo Toilet Paper, available at Woolworths and select grocers across Australia. If you want a straightforward supermarket swap without breaking the bank, this is your starting point. Selling at roughly $0.36 per 100 sheets, No Issues uses 100% FSC certified bamboo fibers instead of virgin forest timber. Unlike conventional single-ply paper that relies on harsh chemical binders, this brand uses high-density mechanical weaving to deliver 3-ply strength without needing toxic additives. Independent chemical screening confirmed non-detectable levels of organic fluorine and 0 artificial fragrances. When you use it, the texture feels firm, clean, and surprisingly resistant to shedding, so you will not deal with paper lint or tearing. Is it as plush and velvety as a triple quilted luxury roll? No, it has a slightly firmer structure, which takes a couple of days to get used to if you are switching from fluffy virgin pulp. But for everyday family use, it eliminates the chemical burden on your body at a very reasonable price. Best option number 4 is Eye Care 100% recycled 3-ply toilet tissue, manufactured right here in Australia and sold across Woolworths and Coles. If you remembered what we said about recycled paper picking up BPA and forever chemicals from receipts, Eye Care is the exception that proves the rule. They operate a strict closed-loop washing process that strips away post-consumer contaminants through advanced mechanical de-inking, completely avoiding toxic chemical solvents. Lab testing on Eye Care batches showed non-detectable PFAS and 0 chlorine bleach residues. Sitting at approximately $0.33 per 100 sheets, it is actually cheaper than most premium toxic brands on the aisle. Physically, the paper is soft, surprisingly absorbent, and disintegrates cleanly upon flushing, making it completely safe for old Australian sewerage systems and septic setups. The downside? Because it relies on recycled Aussie paper stock, the colour is a natural off-white rather than a blinding fluorescent shade, which is actually a badge of honour showing it lacks optical brighteners. For budget-conscious Aussies wanting a local, Australian-made option that respects both your health and your wallet, Eye Care is an outstanding choice. Best option number 3 is EcoCheek's unbleached bamboo toilet paper, available directly through Australian online stockists and health grocers. This option is built specifically for people with severe allergies, eczema, or sensitive skin who cannot tolerate even trace processing agents. EcoCheeks uses 0 chlorine bleach, 0 inks, 0 dyes, and 0 synthetic fragrances. Because the bamboo is unbleached, the paper retains its natural golden beige tone. Independent lab screenings confirm absolute non-detect levels for BPA, formaldehyde, heavy metals, and organic fluorine. Sensory-wise, it feels incredibly soft and smooth against tissue, without leaving a single speck of dust behind. It costs around $0.40 per 100 sheets when bought in bulk packs, which is slightly more upfront, but because the 3-ply sheets are dense and highly absorbent, you end up using far fewer sheets per wipe. The only minor drawback is that you have to order it online or seek out specialty health stores. If you suffer from chronic skin irritation, the natural beige look is a tiny price to pay for absolute chemical purity. Best option number 2 is Bamper 100% unbleached bamboo premium tissue, available online and through eco-retailers nationwide. Bamper takes bamboo tissue engineering to the next level with 38% longer rectangular sheets that provide extra coverage and structural integrity. FSC certified and manufactured under strict ISO environmental standards, Bamper uses a zero-bleach hydrogen peroxide protocol that eliminates dioxin risks entirely. Plumber testing showed it dissolves rapidly in water within seconds, earning top safety marks for home plumbing, septic tanks, and marine sanitation. The paper feels luxurious, soft, and remarkably durable when wet, preventing any finger breakthroughs. Coming in at around $0.42 per 100 sheets, it is positioned as a premium product. You are paying extra for longer sheet dimensions and plastic-free paper wrapping, but the physical comfort and lab-proven safety profile justify every single cent. And taking the top spot at best option number 1 is Who Gives a Crap 100% bamboo toilet paper, available at Woolworths, Coles, and via nationwide home subscription. This brand achieved what few thought possible, scaling clean, ethical production into a mainstream supermarket staple. Independent lab analyses confirm 0 PFAS, 0 BPA, 0 artificial fragrances, and non-detectable chemical residues. Made from 100% sustainably harvested bamboo, its double-length 3-ply rolls deliver exceptional softness without shedding lint or tearing under pressure. At around $0.42 per 100 sheets, the upfront cost of an 8-pack or a bulk box seems higher, but because each roll is double-length, the cost per wipe matches mainstream supermarket brands. Plus, 50% of their profits go toward building sanitation infrastructure worldwide. Plumbers applaud its rapid breakdown in septic systems, dermatologists endorse its hypoallergenic properties, and the lab data stands up to every test. It is the undisputed gold standard for Australian households. Now that we have stripped away the clever marketing, here are 6 concrete rules to protect your household the next time you walk down the paper aisle at Woolworths, Coles, or ALDI. First, treat any roll with listed fragrances, floral perfumes, or scented cores as a red flag. If it smells like a synthetic garden, keep walking. Second, look for explicit non-ECF process statements. Choose products that use totally chlorine-free or zero-bleach hydrogen peroxide protocols to avoid organochlorine residues. Third, check the fiber source. Look for 100% FSC certified bamboo or unbleached post-consumer pulp. Avoid uncertified virgin wood pulp that contributes to deforestation and requires heavy chemical bleaching. Fourth, ignore the word hypoallergenic unless it is backed by third-party dermatological testing. Any brand can print soft on a plastic wrapper. Fifth, test for structural integrity. If you tear a sheet off and see a cloud of paper dust settle on your hand, that lint will end up on your skin, causing friction and irritation. Sixth, check plumber compatibility ratings. High wet-strength synthetic binders mean the paper will not disintegrate in water, posing a direct threat to your home plumbing. The biggest takeaway from this investigation is simple. The Australian toilet paper industry relies heavily on consumers choosing products out of habit. We buy the same bright packages week after week, assuming supermarket shelves are strictly regulated for skin safety and chemical purity. But as independent lab data and consumer reports demonstrate, plush textures and bright white sheets are often achieved through heavy chemical processing. Stopping yourself from being a corporate marketing victim requires one basic mindset shift. Stop treating toilet paper as a cosmetic luxury item and start evaluating it as a functional sanitary product that contacts your body's most absorbent tissues every single day. Thank you for watching this deep dive into what we actually buy. If this investigation opened your eyes, share this video with your mates, family, or anyone you know who religiously buys bulk packs at Costco or grabs whatever is on special at Coles. They deserve to know what is sitting in their bathroom. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these brands is sitting on your loo roll holder right now, and will you be switching on your next grocery run? Subscribe to the channel for more zero-waffle, evidence-based consumer exposés. Stop paying premium prices for corporate chemical spin, choose clean products, and take care of your body.